I tell them, list the important words that you understood. Many students cannot write sentences. I have 10 kids. They only remember certain terms. I said, let them write the terms. I'm involving everybody. If I say, write a paragraph with 5 sentences, 25 words with this, nobody will write. Leave it, ma'am. We'll do it tomorrow. Right? So, actually, what is in their mind? Okay, you want to doodle, ma'am, can I do some picturization of what I have learned? Go ahead. Ma'am, can I just write the words I only remember? Go ahead. Ma'am, I can explain the concept very well. The intelligent children will say, ma'am, I will read the entire concept. Oh, go ahead. What I'm doing here, I am seeing every child in my class getting engaged. Whether they understood or not is secondary for me. That I'll do later when I do my assessment. But at least I see that every child in my class is engaged in doing what they are doing. And I'm able to give their formative assessment. I'm assessing them on what they have written. I'm assessing them on how much they have remembered. I have got my assessment also. I go around in the class, I observe. Even if they are copying from others, I still be happy to give them marks. Don't say that you have copied, I will not give you marks. Child will never listen to you. Sometimes I'd say, okay, I'm giving you marks, next time be authentic. I'm giving you marks, let's be authentic next time. Okay, ma'am, for today, can I copy from? Yes, go ahead. What am I doing? I'm giving freedom for a child to do something what they want. I'll give, I'll pull. I give, I pull. That is important. I give freedom to do whatever you want to do. But again, next time you will have to listen to me. When I joined Heritage, I came from a very core traditional school. I worked for 20 long years in a core traditional school. And it's a core traditional school. Children stand up when the teacher comes, good morning, ma'am. They sit, they're sitting in a row, pin drop silence in the class. Classroom. Class. You feel, no, the children are silent and they're listening to you, pin drop silence. When I came to Heritage, very first day, I entered the class. I didn't know the children sit like this. I was standing. They are in their own world. They don't know who is standing in the class. They were talking, giggling, moving around. I was standing 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I'm standing only. Then there was a little girl sitting in the front. She said, ma'am, are you a new bio teacher? I said, seems to be better. I said, she shouted, guys, there is a new teacher in our class. I was shocked. Guys, nobody said good morning. Nobody said good afternoon. Hi, ma'am. I was taken aback. Literally, I went back home. I cried. Why did I change the school? Why did I change the old school? It was so good, so respectful. Here nobody says good morning. They say hi, ma'am, hello, ma'am. And we don't have a uniform. I can't recognize whether there is a child or a teacher. We can wear, even teachers can wear jeans and trousers there. So I don't remember. Then I had to see their ID cards. ID card is mandatory in our school. Not even for a second you can take out your ID card as a student. Because they don't have a uniform. Literally, that class was something where I had to adapt a lot. After so many years of teaching, you don't get that respect in the class and children say, who are you? We are more than you. And I kept on teaching. And they were kept on talking. I used to go back home and every day cry. My mom used to say, why are you crying? I said, Mama, they're not listening to me. I don't feel satisfied as a teacher. Nobody answers, nobody turns back to you. Then she said, it's okay. You never cried for your own studies, so much you're crying for the kids. It's okay, leave it. I was not like that. Then one day I called a child out. One student was very studious. I asked him, what is the issue in the class? Am I going very fast? Am I not teaching well? Please be open so that I can change myself to what you want, right? Ma'am, shall I tell you the truth? I said, please tell me the truth. Ma'am, 1 hour period. You don't give 5-minute break also. You continuously teach for 1 hour. I said, how will I know that you need a break? Ma'am, you should know you are a teacher. I literally introspected on that day. Do I don't understand my kids? Do I really know that they need a break? Because we usually, in previous school, I used to have only 45 minutes period. And nobody used to say, ma'am, stop. Here children say, ma'am, washroom? Ma'am, can I go for water? Continuously. I say, beta, since morning I have, ma'am, you also go along with us, no? What's the problem? You know, I have dealt with such kind of kids. Ma'am, how can you stop a biological call? I as a student never asked my teacher. My teacher said, shut up and sit down, shut up and sit down. I didn't ask, ma'am, how can you stop me from going to a washroom? 90% of the kids' life is in washroom. 10% they are in classes. Then I understood, okay, these children need some break. I used to give way, we used to have a barter system. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes in the beginning, 5 minutes at the end, 40 minutes you will study from me. Done, ma'am. And that's the class. At the end of the day, they used to say, ma'am, whole day you teach for us. We will study only bio. So that is where I felt that I have achieved something in my life. You know, coming from a traditional school, it's very easy. Children listen to you. Dealing with these kind of kids is so difficult, and today's generation is like this. They want their work to be done to listen to you as a teacher. It's your duty to teach us, right? So it's your duty also to listen to us. And we did it. And this works really well in our classes. What I'm trying to say is, we can be a strict teacher. We cannot be rude, but we can be assertive. I'm an assertive teacher, not a rude teacher. When I want them to do some gala time, I give them full freedom to do some gala in the class. But when I'm in the class, they have to be with me. Only then they have a connection with you as a human. Otherwise, they'll say, okay, this teacher, one day also she don't take an off. Every day she comes and teach. What nonsense. There are kids who will say, ma'am, this topic, can't we do it at the end? This is so boring. Bio teachers will relate with the diversity chapter. I don't even know today why I teach that chapter though. Okay, so what I'm going to focus on a little is, I think a break's time is 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, I'll do some concept and we'll have a break. I may not be able to do many of them, but definitely I'll do. Few which are very important. Social and emotional well-being of the child. This is very important, which I want to actually give a little time for. And we'll talk about some strategies for student engagement in the class. We'll talk about AI as an adaptive tool. Many of you might have been using AI now. Which source you use? AI tool. ChatGPT. What else? Somebody at the end is saying. Sorry, sir. Gemini? Notebook. Okay, what else? Anything else? Okay. We have Copilot also, we have Claude also, we have Perplexity also, we have so many tools. Textbook, yes, textbook is also there. I don't use much of the textbook in my class. Okay, so let's talk about, I'll go a little quicker. We talk about this concept. You can see future-ready classrooms look like, feel like, sound like. When I came into Heritage, for every concept, they used to use this. Sound like, feel like, look like. I said, what is the sound like, look like, feel like? I never understood what it is. Then we came to know, if I'm talking about a future-ready classroom, how the environment of the classroom should be when I look at it. That is, look like. What is feel like? When I enter that class, am I energized to teach the children? Am I seeing any kind of red flags in the classroom? What is a red flag? A child who might be in a depression. Am I able to look at that child? That's feel like. What is sound like? What kind of conversations are happening in the class? Is it subjective conversations or is it something which is not of any relevance? That's the sound like. So when you look at a future-ready classroom, How does that look like, feel like, and sound like? We'll just have a little on that. I'm not going to much into the details because you all are aware of that. So what we do is, in any future-ready classroom, we have certain norms. What are norms? Rules. These rules are again our dreams. Yes or no? Why do we set rules? Because we want our class to be like that. That's the reason why we set rules, right? What we do in Heritage, we as teachers don't set rules. We ask children to create the rules. It's called as co-creating. If I ask children to create, they will create whatever they want. Send 5 times from the washroom each class. That's a rule that they will create. So co-creating is not just giving freedom to the child, but we sit together, teacher and students. We sit together and we co-create certain norms. And why do we have to co-create? If I give a rule, it becomes more judgmental for a child. You want it, ma'am. You want it. You want it. 10 times the child will say. And if I say it to a child will say that I will do whatever I want. We can't give that. So I say, since we both are creating, it should be followed by me as well and you as well. So we create certain kind of co-creating the classroom norms that you can do it in every class as per your subject. Follow daily routine, sit comfortably. After COVID, children have forgotten how to sit in the class. I think everybody agrees. When we agree in Heritage, what do we say? We have a gesture in Heritage when we say we agree with everybody. We do like this. I agree with you. My heart and your heart speaks the same. We say like this. That's the gesture. When I came to Heritage, there were so many abbreviations. There are so many gestures. We have never understood what is it. They used to do a clap like this. My left hand don't go up. After Miss Evans into operation, this hand don't go up. Let me show to you. They used to do a silent clap. So when I don't want the noise to happen, I say children, let's give a silent clap. Everybody do it. Creates such a beautiful aura in the class. When you see children do it. When they do a clap, we have different sounds. Some people do very hard. They don't speak to you, right? So be ready with your resources. That is our dream, though children are not ready. Follow norms. We'll do a little on norms of collaboration also. Ask permission before asking a question. May I ask? Respect others during collaborative learning. I've been using this word collaboration. Why am I using this word collaboration? Because my students sit in a crew. They're all sitting like this. When I am not accepting what the other child is saying, will I be able to do the task? Yes or no? We can't. So, I need to follow certain rules within the crew so that my task is done. That's called as norms of collaboration. There are 7 norms. Every year, before the very first day of the new session, we do norms of collaboration with our children. What is expected with them when I am giving a crew task? But I will also give a crew task to you today. You need to follow those norms of collaboration. Then the work that you do is productive, right? So collaborative work comes when you give a group task, not an individual task. Individual task does not require norms of collaboration. Only group task requires, and group discussion is very important. So these are the norms that we co-create. Co-creation of norms is very important. Neither you create as a teacher, not you ask your child to create. It's the both of us creating, which both of us will follow. Okay? Sorry, sir.
Is it 11 o'clock is okay?
Yes, I'll just complete this slide. Okay. After this slide, we have a much needed break. tea break. Because we survive on tea and coffee or whatever. So these are some of the, I'm showing what I use in my class. Learning environments, what resources I have with me. Then I have digital tools which I carry. We have non-negotiable. What is non-negotiable? Sorry, ma'am. Unavoidable, very good. Anything else? Something which I cannot say no. It has to be means it has to be there. That's non-negotiable. Norms of collaboration, because we give a lot of collaborative tasks. We look at the social and emotional status of a child. We talk about how student is engaged. We talk about authentic assessments. We talk about AI as an adaptive tool. So all these are a must for today's classroom. Any class you go, you need to have all of them in place. Okay? So I'll just only do with the digital content. This is something which we create. We call it as anchor charts. You write on the board, it takes a lot of time, right? And children will ask for time to copy it down in their notebooks. So we create these anchor charts on our laptops for the children, and we do certain kind of assessments in between. Can you see CFU written here? Can somebody see CFU written? CFU 4, CFU 3. We have a lot of CFUs. What is CFU? Check for understanding. I think most of you might have been doing it also. So intermittent CFUs we do, and we assess the child on that as well. So when we have our FAs, we have more than 50 assessments in a cycle. Because within every classroom, we have one check for understanding which we assess for a child, even if they are sitting in a group. Even if they have discussed the answer and written, but still we assess them. Because every time it's not the pen paper test that works. What works here, no? When I say I'm teaching, if you're not listening, you're losing on the marks because I'm taking a CFU. First time he will not listen, the child may be getting 1 or 2 marks. Second time, child wants to improve, okay, I'm getting marks for this. Let me improve. Second time, the child will focus more in the class and try to do a CFU. The child will get more marks. Third time, the child is very attentive in the class because CFU is going to be there. The child will get full marks. So, when you do a CFU every time, don't demand for marks. You have to get 5 marks out of this. Just say, focus. Focus in the class. Whatever you get, it's fine. You write whatever you've understood. So that I will, as a teacher, also know how a student is engaged in the class. Next time, maybe I can change my strategy. So these are the side of anchor charts. I don't know how it works for you in your classes, but this is something which actually reduces teachers' time and give more time for you to involve yourself with your students. Okay, let's just have, because we just started little late, I want you to quickly grab a tea and have your snacks and come back. What time we are calling them, sir? 15 minutes? 15 minutes?
11:15.
It's 11:15. We expect everyone to be here.